Is that disgusting? I don't know. Last shout out is Don Juanito's Coffee. Don Juanito's Coffee. My family up at Adjuntas, Cerro Aguilarte, up there, growing coffee right underneath the hot sun. So it's beautiful coffee, and they've been drinking it their whole lives. It's just now they've made it a business. So shout out to them for taking that next step. And honestly, if I had a brick and mortar spot right now, that would be the coffee that I would serve. Like, it's fucking bomb. Don Juanito, Juanito's Coffee, Coffee. You can check them out on Instagram, Don Juanito's Coffee. You can even order there. They have an online store right through there. So get yourself some, because it's delicious. It's espresso grind. It's medium ground. So it's just really good fucking coffee. And it reminds me of Puerto Rico. It smells just like mornings over there. With them brewing coffee, making eggs, hanging out with fam, you know. So, and shout out to all my family in Puerto Rico. I haven't been out there in forever. Probably go out there in October, but I'm not sure. So, I got my Truffle Shuffle boys coming to visit. All right, Truffle Shuffle. It's Tyler, Jason, Ian. Probably do a podcast with Ian Rosentrout. So that's probably the next one you'll see next week. And then I got my boy Q Harrison Terry. Q Harrison Terry is a marketing executive for Mark Cuban. The boys got to know him when they went on Shark Tank. He's helped them immensely. He's the reason why they've been able to get so many stars on their show. So shout out to Q Harrison Terry. I'm going to meet him today and possibly sit down, do a podcast about shit that I don't fucking understand, namely NFTs, cryptocurrency, and all that shit. It's interesting, but I had no idea, and I don't know about it. So, should be cool. But without further ado, I'm going to leave you with David Yoshimura. He's going to tell you his story. You're going to go to his restaurant, and the world's going to keep going round and round. So, yeah. R.I.P. Mark Peel. One more time. Rest in peace, brother. I hope Nancy Silverton is okay. My condolences to the family. And you know, through these things happen, and then you sort of do a little bit more research. And I had no idea that this gentleman and Nancy Silverton lost money in the Bernie Madoff scandal. You know, that's history right there, baby. That is like big news. You know, and you never know who was involved in things because you don't really look at that. Like, I look at them as chefs, not their personal fucking lives. You know, but I found that tidbit of information, and I found it very interesting. So it's making me do a little bit more research into this whole Bernie Madoff thing, just because I find those kinds of things interesting. You know, as I find people that work hard for their passion, like that guy was working hard to steal millions of dollars. And like, it almost doesn't seem worth it to me. You know, like, that's a lot of work to steal money. But anyway, shout out to you guys, the listener, helping me out. We're about to hit over 10,000 downloads on the podcast. So fucking, it's been quite a ride. And, oh, thank you. Thank you. You shouldn't have. Oh, please, no. Sit down. Standing ovation. Wow. Crazy. All right. With that, I leave you. Episode 28. Remember, you guys listen to this show, put it on your social media. suciotalk@gmail.com if you want to email. And I would love to hear your crazy kitchen stories. Once again, susiotalk@gmail.com. Don't be listening to this and not emailing me, okay? Because I know that's what you're doing. It's like, yeah, I'll get to it. You won't get to it unless you do it right at that moment. So when you hear this, stop what you're doing. Text yourself the story, and then email it to me. All right, because I wanna be able to tell these stories on the air. I want people's whether the triumph to shine, and I want the failures to be present, so we know what not to do. Kind of like Cato, 8 things we did so you didn't have to. That kind of 8 mistakes we made so you didn't have to. I still got to read that book. And I will say this, one of the reasons why I am doing a little bit of a longer intro today is because John Yao from Cato DM'd me. He said, I really like the beginning of the episodes when you just talk. And I've always wanted to be an entertainer, obviously. That's why I do this podcast. Not the only reason, but one of the reasons. And I think I might start a second podcast that's just kind of a bullshit one, where I just rattle off my crazy ass ideas. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. If it is, I'll do it. If not, I'll probably still do it. Also, I want to build a podcast network, okay? Right now I got 4 slots. If you're thinking about making a podcast, make a podcast, but you don't want to, necessarily spend the money on putting it up on a website or spending the time putting it up on all the different platforms. Record the show, take the picture, do the description, give it to me. I'll do the rest. Okay? And then hopefully we can get more of a wide variety of shows on the Sucio Mob Network. Sucio Mob Network, just made that up. There you go. So yeah, big things on the horizon. Everyone be well, be safe, take care of yourself, drink some water, and I'll see you guys next week. You sexy bastards. Peace. You still live in that,
Yeah, Joe does a really good job at Instagram.
For sure, man. He really does. He's starting to work with Truffle too.
I can see that.
So yeah, so he's going to do a couple things there. So we are at restaurant. Tell me how you pronounce it.
It's Nisei.
Nisei. Got you. Okay, I've been saying Nisei all day.
Okay.
Restaurant Nisei in what street are we on?
This is Polk Street.
Polk Street. Got you. And I'm sitting here with Chef David Yoshimura. Am I saying that correctly?
Yep.
All right, sweet. How are you, Chef?
Doing great.
Awesome,
really,
man.
Yeah.
Really nice to have you on. Thanks for hitting me up.
Of course.
The reason why he's on the show, he texted me last night. He was hanging out with Chef Flores and of Snail Bar. Chef was like, hey, let's do a podcast. I'll probably drop these simultaneously just because I missed last week, but that's all right. So, Chef, when is this place set to open?
This is going to open in August.
August. Okay, got you. Do you have a date, or is it just August and we'll figure it out?
It's more, we'll play it by ear in August.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what is sort of the concept?
So the concept is Japanese California food.
Uh-huh.
The name Nisei means second generation.
Okay.
Which is basically what I am. It's like second generation Japanese born outside of Japan. So the food reflects the culture of Asian Americans, mostly Japanese, and that's what the concept is.
Very cool, very cool. So, here at Sucio Talk, we're going to take it all the way back to when you're a little niño. Where were you born?
So I was born in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was born not in the inner city, but mostly kind of on the outskirts of Houston.
Got you. Was it like farmland?
No, it's mostly like almost suburbs.
Like suburbs, got
kind
you.
Of like urban almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. And what was life like there? What did your parents do?
So my dad used to work in oil, as a lot of people do in Houston.
Yeah.
My mom is an artist. So, growing up there was great. Like, we weren't poor and we weren't wealthy.
Yeah.
We were just kind of like...
You had what you needed.
Yeah, we definitely had what we needed. I was very fortunate.
Yeah. Very cool. Your mom's an artist? What kind?
She does everything. She does murals, paintings. She's doing a couple of pieces for the restaurant.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So to this day, still going.
Yeah, I mean that's her profession.
Fucking awesome. How long has she been doing that? Her whole life?
Her whole life. Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you come from a Japanese background, both parents from Japan?
No, so I'm half Japanese. My father's the Japanese one.
Got you.
My mom is American. But for the most part, like I was raised to be more American. Mm-hmm. And like growing up in Houston, Texas, it's extremely American.
For sure, yeah.
Growing up, it was like I usually ate a lot of American food. My mom was an excellent cook. Mm-hmm. She's like really good. She's like kind of has like a Southern upbringing.
Okay.
Her family comes from Missouri, so we had like a lot of Southern food all the time.
Nice.
My dad, he does know how to cook Japanese food, but he's extremely busy all the time.
Gotcha.
So, so, I mean, kind of like why I started branching out and learning more Japanese food and like why I wanted to open a Japanese restaurant was kind of like an exploration into my heritage.
Your heritage, yeah, mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, I'm finding that interesting too myself. It's like I'm doing the 23andMe thing because I want to see like where the trajectory is, and because there's some things that are just inside you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why do I like rice so much? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be an explanation for that, you know?
Yeah.
Do you have family back in Japan?
Some distant relatives, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have they visited with you? Do you have a relationship with them, or kind of?
Not really. I mean, we have met the distant relatives in Japan, but now I mostly have friends that I go and see in Japan whenever I go.
Yeah.
So, I do have some ties to Japan, but mostly my main family is here in America.
Gotcha. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what was your first job?
My first job was a dishwasher in Houston. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So literally your first job, you were in the kitchen.
Yeah. For sure.
How old are you?
15.
15, dishwashing.
Yeah.
You're working with pirates or what?
Pretty much, yeah. Bunch of fucking scurvy pirates.
Yeah, that's the culture, right?
Yeah. So,
How long did you stay there?
So my friend got me the job as a dishwasher. You know, it was like some local cafeteria.
Yeah.
It's called Luby's. If you're from Texas, if someone's from Texas, they know what that is. It's like a great chain.
Yeah.
So I worked as a dishwasher for a couple of years. And when I was doing that, I just kind of kept bugging the manager, like, hey, I can do prep cooking, I can do that. Like, this food doesn't look that complicated. I mean, most of it's, like, frozen anyways.
Yeah.
It's a cafeteria. So, I started doing, like, some prepping in the morning. He let me come in, and I'd work, like, brunch shifts and things like that. And then eventually, like, I switched to another job. It was, like, a local Italian restaurant. And then after that, I went to culinary school after high school.
Where'd you go to culinary school?
I went to the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park.
Okay,
yeah.
Got you. Is there any notable classmates that you know of? Like, is there any guys that you were in school with that are now have restaurants and things like that? Or do you keep up with anybody from culinary school?
I keep up with my class. Mm-hmm. I think, like, vaguely, I don't really keep up much with a lot of people, just, like, some close friends.
Yeah.
I think one of my classmates, his name's Peter Fred, he... He's the exec chef of a great restaurant in Miami. I just kind of caught up with him the other day.
Awesome.
But for the most part, I don't really. A lot of them are the people that were in my class. Like, I don't really know what they're doing, or a lot of them did drop out of the industry.
Heard that? Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
weed the weak.
Yeah. Honestly,
now tell me, I went to Johnson & Wales, so I know a little bit of culinary school, but the CIA was presented to me as like the one that you go to. I just didn't go there because they don't offer bachelor degrees, so it's like I don't. But what's sort of the programming there? What was the best things about it? Your highlights?
I mean, I think the best part about it was there's just like a wealth of information there if you want to go for it.
Yeah.
They do teach you a lot of basics and a lot of French technique that, like it's kind of like you learn a lot of terms and a lot of like base French techniques, mother sauces and things like that. Mm-hmm. Like that'll kind of get you in the door of most restaurants.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, like I value experience over my time at CIA. Much more. For sure. Yeah.
I found at Johnson & Wales, it's the same thing for me. It was like, I'm grateful I went
because of the connections I made.
Exactly.
But other than that, it's like, I could learn more at restaurants.
Yeah.
So how long did you stay there?
I just did the associate's degree. So
Gotcha.
2 years.